Hi guys, I wanted to talk to you about something kind of important. So I was at Elms today and I had a panic attack, a really, really bad panic attack. Like, I went in and I'd been feeling a little anxious that day, but the last few days I'd been feeling really a lot better. Like, I know you guys knew that because it was in my videos. And so I was feeling a lot better. And but I went into Elms and I lost it. There's a lot of old people, and I walked into the room and they were playing music, and I don't know, maybe it reminds me of a hospital, I'm not sure, but I just kind of, my body did not react very well. So I had a panic attack, and I called some people to come and pick me up, right? And I was so near tears, like it wasn't even funny, like I was freaking out. And I called them and they said that half the time they don't even believe me when I say I have a panic attack. And that really hurt. Like, for anybody who's ever had a panic attack or have what I have, it's not the kind of thing you can fake. It's not that easy to fake. And it's really hard to know that the two people that I trust most in the world don't even believe me half the time, and that's really tough. Like, I came home and I went to bed. Like, I didn't want to look at, I don't know, I don't want to even think. I just wanted to sleep, and I didn't even fall asleep, but I just kind of sat there and I was mad. I was really mad. I'm still really mad. I don't know when I'm going to talk to them again. I'm really upset about this, but I just wanted to tell you guys is that don't be so judgmental. I mean, if you don't have a mental disorder, it's not your right to judge the other person. And don't pretend that you know whether or not they're faking or not, because you don't. You honestly don't. You can't. You don't know. And for someone to say that they think you're faking it, how would they know? Like, how truly would they know? They don't go inside through your brain. They don't know what it's like. And for me, that's the most frustrating part about having a generalized anxiety disorder, or really any disorder, bipolar, any of that, because they don't see it. They don't see how your mind changes. And people always say mental disorders aren't real. Well, I watched this girl's video, and there's one thing she said that made me smile, because it was the one true thing, is that a mental disorder is something different in your brain. Your brain does not work like other people's brains. It is a scientific chemical imbalance in your brain. It's scientific. It's not fake. There is something wrong with your brain. So it really amuses me when people say they're not real. I'm like, yeah, if we compared our two brains, they'd be different, because that means there's nothing wrong with my brain or anything. It's just, it's funny how people judge and they think that they know everything when they don't. Do you know how many times I've heard people tell me that I don't have a generalized anxiety disorder? I'm sorry, you can work with as many people with anxiety as you want, but you know nothing about what it's like. Everybody who has anxiety deals with it different. I know people who have anxiety and social anxiety who can't do things like play video games to get their mind off it. It makes it worse. It makes it really terrible for them. But for me, it works. It does. I can go and play a video game. I can ignore it and it goes away. But for other people, that doesn't work. But for me, it does. But that's just different. It doesn't mean one of us has less anxiety than the other. It just means we deal differently. And it just, people have so much that they think. I hate that. And, you know, I can sympathize because it's so lonely, you know, not being around. And I think that's why me and my aunt have gotten a lot closer over the last few years, is because she still takes medication for her anxiety. And because of that, I feel like if I need to talk to someone about my anxiety, I can go to her because she has it. And so for me, that's something comforting. And I know people in my family might not exactly enjoy that fact, but it's too bad, because I can't talk to anybody else. I can't talk to my mom, I can't talk to my dad, because they don't know, they don't understand. I mean, honestly, I wish I could say they do, but they don't. It's terrible. And, you know, people always they always say, I think I've had one of my friends once say that they wish their enemy would have a panic attack, and they said, they turned around and they said, don't you wish they would have a panic attack? And I'm like, no. They're like, why, you hate them? And I'm like, yeah, I hate them, and I still wouldn't want them to have a panic attack. I actually think that compared to some people, I could actually explain it, the symptoms pretty well. I guess, how do I feel today? I felt my heart was actually beating slower than normal. I thought it was. I felt, but it felt like it was going slower, but it was actually going faster. And my head, I can't focus. I've had one girl explain it, that explained it exactly right. I was present with my body, how I was feeling. I knew every sensation that was going through my body, but the outside world, beyond my body, was fuzzy. I can't focus properly when I'm having a panic attack. I can't, and I always have to have my hands busy. I always have to be doing something to get my mind off it. I always have to have something in my hands, doing something, or I freak out. And people always say, though, they say that you can do stuff. People always tell me, get over it, just sleep it off, just walk it off. And one of the things that someone said is, you don't tell someone with bipolar to just not be bipolar anymore. You don't tell someone who has autism to just be like everybody else and learn. You don't tell someone, and it's the same, you don't tell someone with an anxiety disorder to just get over it. It doesn't work like that. It's hard. And I get that a lot because people don't understand. They always say, so why don't you just do your breathing exercises and stuff? I'm sorry, when you're freaking out and you're hyperventilating, going like this, it's not as easy as it sounds. It's quite difficult, actually. And I'm actually still really anxious. That's why I keep moving my hands. I'm not as bad as I was because I've been doing a lot of sleeping, but I was freaking out. And my mom was like, I can't come get you. And I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to stay. I can't stay here. And then the person who I was volunteering for, she came in and she said, she's like, you look really pale. She's like, and I walked with her. She said, I need to get you to sign this confidentiality agreement. And I was like, okay, whatever. Sure, because for my volunteering. And I was like, sure. And then I saw a phone and I was like, can I use that? My voice was in tears. And she's like, okay, are you okay? And I'm like, I have no idea. So I tried to call my mom and she wouldn't pick up. And mom's just like, I'm sending your dad. I'm like, okay. And by that point, I was in tears. I got in the car and I had tears pouring down my face. I came home, bawled my eyes out. In fact, no one came in and checked if I was okay, which, by the way, was great. But I just let it all out. I bawled. And actually, I don't even know what to do with myself right now. I get so frustrated. No one understands. No one understands what I'm going through. Well, some people do if they have it, but no one else does. And I don't know, really. I don't know anybody else with a generalized anxiety disorder. I hope I never know anyone else with an anxiety disorder, to be honest, because I don't wish that anybody would have a generalized anxiety disorder, but in a way, I'm kind of glad in the sense where I'm glad my aunt does, not because she has it, but because I have someone to talk to about it, which is nice, actually. But anyway, I guess I'm gonna go. Thank you for listening to my big rant. I really had to get that out because I wasn't sleeping without getting that rant out. So thank you so much. And to my friend who's also named Hannah, I would actually love it very much if she would text me. Bye.